Hello, everybody, and welcome to the G12 Network, the very best NCAA Football 14 online dynasty around. And who else could introduce a G12 better than me? That's right, the coach. Now, thank you for supporting everybody at G12. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome on into the G12 Network Week 5 here. Hardcore CFB and Hottie Toddy in the booth. And we've got an exciting one for you today. Fantasy World League versus Yofi the Dofi and his Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Hottie Toddy, how's it going?
I am doing great tonight. I am glad to be back in the booth for some G12 action tonight. I think we've got a good matchup tonight, and I'm just excited to watch some more quality NCAA content tonight. How about yourself, Hardcore? How are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, I know one thing. I'm pretty sure this game will be better than what we witnessed last night in the Super Bowl. Let's just get right down to the nitty-gritty here. Week 5 now. Things are starting to heat up a little bit. The kitchen's getting a little bit warmer. I think we're starting to figure out maybe some sort of order on maybe some of the best teams, but we have a lot to figure out in the middle of the pack. 4 weeks down, what are your impressions so far, Hottie Toddy?
You know, I agree. I think that maybe there's a few teams right at the top, but then after that, it gets really messy here in the G12, and I think it's been interesting because we've heard a lot of teams comment about how maybe their goal really is just to go 500 or just over 500, go 6-5. And I think that's not a bad goal when you really have user games every single week. And I think what's been interesting, too, is we still have a lot of imbalance in the number of games played. I mean, even tonight, you have Coach Burt, who's only played one game, whereas Yofi has played multiple games. And so it's really just interesting how some people are still just getting their feet wet into this league, into this season, and still have a lot more games to go, whereas some people are really almost at the halfway point of their season because they've played, either 4 or 5 weeks already.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, as you were talking about just now, Fantasy World League hasn't even scored a touchdown yet in the G12 season too. So as we begin to look closely at this game, what does Fantasy World League have to do to be able to compete with Yofi, who at least going into this year was one of the favorites?
Absolutely. I think we're going to see fantasy probably take the air out of the football. We're going to go a lot of time control, just keep the ball away from Yofi most of the game. I do think he really struggled, though, to get his offense going in his one and only game this year. So what I really hope I want to see is him mix it up a little bit, not just the straight up runs up the middle, maybe some option, outside runs, stretch plays, stuff like that. To really mix it up and then bring in some play action and things like that too. But I really just expect him to keep the ball on the ground. And if he does that, how do you expect Yofi to respond? I mean, if Yofi has to keep the ball away from him, how do you think Yofi's going to be able to respond to that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, and also Yofi here. Before we go any further, maybe we should first off stop and say, I know he doesn't help out the G12 very much anymore, but he's still one of the OGs. Put some emotes in the chat. Congratulations, the Vic Pickmaster, becoming a father today.
That's right.
Fantastic news. I believe mom and son are doing fantastic. So congratulations, the Vic Pickmaster, on becoming a father.
My old picking rival. Well, my dog's picking rival, but anyways, congratulations, Vic, from all of us here at the G12. But that is exciting. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And we were talking about before the stream started, Yofi, if y'all were on his channel, maybe saw he just took a tough loss in his offline dynasty. So actually kind of lost kind of bad. So that's going to be interesting to see how that ends up playing a factor with him going into this game. Is he just off his game tonight, or is he going to use that as motivation to play better in this user game against Coach Burt?
Yeah, and I guess one more little heads up. I think we have someone else helping out in the production truck tonight. I believe Bert's daughter is helping cue some of the graphics, so big shout out to her as she kind of leads us down this road as we have Bert obviously on the sideline for his game. And that's a good point that you bring up here. And Yofi, as good as he's been, and we expect him to be, we've also seen him sometimes struggle or play down to his opponents. Do you think that's something that could happen today?
I absolutely think it could. Well, first of all, I don't want anyone to think you need to play down to Coach Burt. I think Coach Burt brings it. He may not be the most talented user in the league, but he has fun every time he plays. And he is what we have seen, I think, in Coach Burt, and especially more so last year in the G12, is we really saw him rise to the occasion in user games. Like we really saw him bring it. Although that may not have been the case so far this season, I think, he's still kind of getting his feet, brand new team, playing with Texas this year. And so I think we're going to see Coach Burt like really bring it tonight. And if Yofi does play down to his level or plays overconfidently, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Coach Burt win tonight with the Texas Longhorns.
I think it's definitely in the realm of possibilities. You're absolutely right. And one thing we have to keep an eye on here is if you haven't seen Fantasy World League play this year, just understand that he's not with Nebraska anymore. He is with Texas, who comes in as the third best team as far as top 20 averages. So he's got himself a pretty talented team. Yofi's actually Notre Dame team is significantly below that. I believe that's at 7 or 6. And so he has the talent on his side in this game. And so you got to wonder, maybe, just maybe, if he can string a couple plays together, get Yofi on his toes, he might have a chance in this one. I do want to let the chat know that the channel points prediction is open. So you can go ahead and bet. Yofi is a 28-point favorite, according to the computer. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's absurd, and I get it. Burt's offense really struggled in his one game. I think if you saw the graphic beforehand, he only has like 78 yards of total offense on the season. I think that's skewed, but I would be surprised if it's a 28-point loss, mainly just because I think he's going to play keep away so much that Yofi's going to struggle to do that. Although, the dog Ramble did pick Yofi this week, so I agree with the pick. I just don't think it's going to be that big. Yeah, I would definitely take the spread.
Okay, definitely going to the spread there. And so is Rocky Top. I see that right there as well. I do want to say we have other games this week. On Tuesday, we have
Give him the ball.
Is happening now, but what are your quick thoughts on St. Breeze's joining the G12?
All right, let's go, baby. Woo, we shining today.
Doing fantastic here, and it looks like Texas is going to receive the ball, and he's gonna kneel it. What are your thoughts on St. Breeze's joining the G12?
I'm excited to see St. Breeze's. I think he is. Character-wise, maybe one of the most fun people to join the G12 for sure. So I'm excited about that. Now people are saying it's in and out. So this is going to be a great game. If y'all don't know though, Fantasy is producing this game while playing it, people. So bear with us tonight if we do have some technical difficulties from the production truck. But hopefully we'll be able to, as long as you can at least see the game, that's what really matters. So, but anyways, I'm excited to have St. Breeze's join the league. Mac will be missed, but it should be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like the clock is already beginning to drool for Texas here. He seems totally content to wind this all the way down in the first place, right up the gut. Not much going on there for Robin Banks. Hopefully he stays out of handcuffs today and hopefully doesn't get himself in too much trouble. Right up the gut for 3 yards. And it seems right away that maybe we have a little bit of a game plan here from Fantasy World League, that he's going to try to maybe milk the clock a little bit and limit the possessions.
Absolutely, and I don't blame him one bit. Although, like I said, if he gets 3 yards every play, it'll work. But I don't think he's going to be able to run in the middle all game.
2nd and 7. Now here comes a show blitz. Maybe he's blitzing, maybe he's not. I believe we do have Yofi's stream, if you're curious. It's going to be a play-action pass. He's got time to throw. It's a deep shot over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost completed over the middle. It was a little bit of a dangerous throw, but it could have been caught. Instead, it's an incomplete in the 3rd and long.
It is. That is a tough play right there. Props to him going to the play action already. I already think we're seeing a newer offense than we saw last time Coach Burt took the field. So props to him for taking that shot there. Real bummer, didn't complete it. But hey, his offense looks like he's gonna be willing to sling it out when he has to.
Yep, 5 wide now. We're 5 wide. 3rd and 7. Back to Bass. Has time. Here's a throw over the middle. And again, it is contested, but it falls incomplete. 2 passes. And although it was a tough grabs, both of them have been dropped. And it looks like the Longhorns might have to punt this one away.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of risky throws we see there, but as Emig just said in the chat, I like the aggressiveness. I like the aggressiveness to just go for it and not just be content running the ball. And yeah, we'll see if it plays off here later in the game. Still just the first drive.
Here's the punt. It's going to be received by Keys. Keys the third, bounces it to the right. He's got some space. Oh, this could be dangerous. He has the keys, but he cannot unlock the door, and he's eventually brought down to the ground. But good field position here, starting at midfield for the Irish.
Absolutely. I'm not quite sure why he cut that back towards the middle. I thought he had a little bit more room to the outside, maybe not to house it, but at least to pick up another 15 or 20 yards and start out with really good field position. But yeah, Coach Burt's defense is going to be put to the test almost right away here. Not a lot of field even to get in a field goal range, and we're going to have to see how he steps up here and see what kind of defense he comes out in.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 3-5 look. Ian Book making a couple audibles. He's going to run right up the middle. It's going to be Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams gets a couple, and he's wrestled down after a 6-yard gain. And Kyron Williams trying to bounce back. Started out the year very strong. Has kind of slowed down just a smidge. What do you expect from him as this game keeps going?
I agree. I think Yofi likes to feature him. As we see already, Yofi going into a no huddle here, and I think we're gonna see two opposite styles of football here. As he does hand it off and he cuts it out to the outside, a 4-yard rush, but does stop him short of the first down and leaves him with a 3rd and inches here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, 3rd and inches, nice little shoestring tackle there. Maybe Burt was working on his shoestring tackle practices or tackles in practice. I do want to give a shout out to Big Baby Henny. Hopefully you have a little glass of Henny next to you right now, and I appreciate you for the follow. 3rd and inches now. Big time for the road team. Maybe they can get an early stop. It's going to be a run up the middle. And the offensive line for Notre Dame, seniors all across the board, just pushing those Longhorns back and pick up the first down.
Absolutely. You know, I realize Coach Burt loves that 3-3-5 defense. And on many downs, I think it's a good defense to go to. But when it's 3rd and inches, I think you got to put some more people on the line. And hope that you get a stop, because I think it's just tough to stop the run right up the middle when you only have 3 down linemen.
Yeah, he only had 2 down linemen. Now he moves to a 3rd. He looks like he's showing some blitz here. I'd be curious what Ian Book thinks of this. Yofi's thinking. Down to 10 seconds on the play clock now. He's going to move right out into space. He's got twins now out in the formation. It's going to be a pass. It's going to – we got some buttons going all over the place. And I believe that – we have a touchdown.
Are you kidding me?
I think so. I think
we have a touchdown. Again, we apologize for some of the technical difficulties. We just have some new people in the truck, but that's okay. I think all that happened is we just switched them around. But otherwise, it was a fine. That's okay. We're still learning here.
We're good.
But a touchdown to Mr. Wright, I believe. And he broke a couple tackles down the sideline, and he's able to get himself in the end zone. And right away, it seems like Yofi's not messing around.
No, definitely not. I think he has come to play, and good for him. I mean, hey, if he wants to step on the gas and absolutely, put up the points tonight, then good for him. Like, let's see him do it. Let's see him bring it. But yeah, good drive for him. Quick, easy score. Great field position to start with. And now let's see how Coach Burt responds here.
Yeah, and how does Coach Burt need to respond here? 3 and out. I know 2 passes were contested, and maybe one of them should have been caught. But now he's looking at a 7-point hole on the road. He got the ball first, and all of a sudden it seems like this drive needs to produce some sort of points already.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll see him probably go back to the run, especially on the early downs, try to pick up some yards, continue to control that clock. That's the thing. You don't have to completely change your game plan yet. It's only 7-0. It's still early in the first quarter. However, if you don't move the ball at all and give him good field position and all of a sudden you find yourself 14 down, you're probably in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and again, Notre Dame's kind of creeping up there. They're not respecting the pass that much. There's a run up the middle. It looked like there may have been a hold there, but Robin Banks just coming up, not cracking the safe really there, just picking up only 2.
Yeah, not a lot of run game for either of these teams right now. But we've also seen them pretty much just go to that run up the middle. We haven't seen a lot of option or really anything like that yet. So it'll be interesting for both coaches to see if we get a little bit more of a mix in the run game.
Yeah, now I formation. He's got that fullback moved over to the right side here. Yofi's using the safety in Crawford. Look, lots of guys in the box now. Again, clock down to 5 seconds. Burt is in no hurry here. He's dropped back the pass. He's got all day. Pressure's coming. He dumps it over the middle. It's complete to the right side. That is Brendan Eagles, and he flies his way forward for a first down. And the Longhorns have their first down of the game, and Fantasy World League is moving.
And that is a great play because, yes, that looks like a run-heavy formation. You see Yofi cheat everybody up to the line thinking the run's coming. But Burt didn't call an audible, no hot routes, nothing. I mean, he was ready for that pass play. I think it's a great call to pick up, his first down and keep this drive alive.
Yeah, and how important is it maybe for Burt to throw on first down, throw on maybe not the obvious throwing downs, because otherwise Yofi's going to get him figured out.
I think so. I think that's huge to keep it mixed up.
Looks like Yofi's just playing head games with him. It's going to be another run. This time, Robin Banks has some space, and we saw him kind of be contained on that first drive, but now he breaks out for 8 yards. That's the best run of the day so far for him, and he got a little bit of cash on that run.
Absolutely. Great run up the middle. We did see Yofi only with 3 down linemen there, so a huge gap up the middle. Didn't really cheat anybody up. And already, maybe that's, by Burt coming out and throwing that ball when he was in a run-heavy formation, we already see Yofi, questioning his defensive decisions. And I think Burt's going to be able to keep him on his toes here, not just on this drive, but for the rest of the game, because Yofi's not going to know what's happening.
Yeah, and if you're new to the G12, I encourage you to also look at the faces of these streamers while they're playing. It shows some other factors on how they're feeling as this game unfolds here. Again, down to 5 seconds on the play clock. They're going to run right up the gut. That time Yofi is ready for him, and his gang of leprechauns bring him down 1 yard shy of the first down. Huge 3rd and 1 coming up here.
Absolutely. I don't know. It looked like maybe Yofi's guy was a little bit offsides, but obviously they didn't call it. He was right up on the line, though. But, yeah, Burt, doesn't pick up much there, but leaves it 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. But we just saw him try a short run, and nothing happened. Nothing came of it. So if he goes there again, is Yofi going to be able to stop him, or are we going to see him mix it up here to pick up his first down because he needs to have this to keep this drive alive? Doesn't want to punt it back to Yofi just yet.
I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Fantasy World League has not completed or converted a 3rd down yet this season. Here's a big 3rd and 1 now. 5 seconds on the play clock. He's letting this go all the way down to 1. And it looks like there's a penalty. Did he not get the play off? I'm not sure what happened. The delay of game has been accepted. And now from a 3rd and 1, pretty manageable for pretty much a lot of people. Now a 3rd and 6 against Yofi, and now it seems like it must be a passing situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Now really need to pass. Not sure what happened there. Looked like his players were set and everything, just didn't get the ball snapped. And we'll see what happens here on this 3rd and medium to see if he can pick this first down up, which he needs.
Yeah, and again, Yofi bringing everybody up in the box. He's got a bunch tight formation to his right. It's going to be hard to play man coverage in that if they decide to. And again, another penalty. And I'm not sure if we're having issues over there on his side or not. I don't know if the play's not getting down there in time. I'm not sure if Fantasy seems like he's aware of the situation. But now it went from 3rd and 1. Now we're at a 3rd and 11. And it seems like maybe the first conversion of the season 2 for Texas is now not going to happen all of a sudden at 3rd and 11.
Yeah, I am very confused as to what's going on right now, why he is not snapping the ball. It's not like he's running any more clock off the time because the clock stopped. But we'll see if he can get it snapped here. And if he doesn't, I'm afraid we might have an issue. But here we go.
He's got the ball off. Now here comes the throw. It's a dangerous one, and it's going to be incomplete. Kyle Hamilton was in the area. Maybe could have been picked off there. But unfortunately now Texas is probably going to have to punt the football back to the Irish. And just kind of a weird drive right there, Hottie Toddy.
Yeah, I really have no words. I don't know what happened there. I hope it wasn't an error, on the controller not working or something. But hate to see that for Coach Burt. That's a tough one to go from a 3rd and very short to 3rd and 11 and now having to punt the ball.
And one thing I wanted to ask you here, and I know he wants to run some clock off here, wants to limit some possessions, but when you wait until maybe the final couple seconds on the play clock, that kind of gives a little bit of a jump. Like, what you're going to have to snap it within the next 2 seconds. Does that kind of give away some sort of the element of surprise?
I think it does to an extent. I think as long as he's mixing up his play calls between, run and pass, then it's not really going to be a problem. But yeah, if he does it every single play, I agree. I think Yofi's ready and knows the play's happening. So even just every so often, snapping it with 10 or 11 seconds on the play clock to keep him on his toes, I think would go a long way.
Now here comes the motion. It's going to be a run back to the left side. It looks like Texas is prepared, and they work. Kyron Williams only picks up 2 yards that time. And so far, first down's been fairly good for this Texas defense.
He really has, stopping him well on early downs. And really, for the most part, stopping the run game, too. I mean, Yofi hasn't been able to get a ton on the ground yet.
Yeah, and again, it was that play-action pass to the tight end and Wright comes in motion on cue to the right side of your screen. And Book's going to make a little bit of an audible, and it's going to be a snap. It's a drop-back pass. He gets immediate pressure. He hits the curl route to Skowronek, and Skowronek has the 20-yard gain, and he's into Texas territory.
Yeah, that was, first of all, Burt had the pressure on him. I mean, Book had to get rid of that one in a hurry. So props to Burt for sending the pressure. Maybe he was looking for a run there up the middle, and that's why he sent the pressure. But, you know, I think that could be a key here for Burt is to get Yofi rattled and get the pressure on him.
Yeah, now Kyron Williams, he's going to bounce it outside. Then he bounces it back inside. He picks up about 6 before he's finally brought down. Staying a little bit more on schedule here, and he's going to go hurry up huddle yet again. Maybe he smells a little bit of blood. Maybe he thinks he can get up to a 14-0 lead. Maybe put away Fantasy World League early on in this game as the first quarter begins to come to a close with just a minute left on the clock.
I think, and I expect to see the play action here because this is what Yofi did, but no, he does. He hands it off, and Texas just stuffs that run right there. Absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was more stuff than a Thanksgiving turkey. Maybe he should have gone play action pass because there was nothing going on there. Remember the Alamo. 3rd and 5 now.
I think so, but I think that's a tendency a lot of times I see in Yofi is when he picks up, 5 or 6 yards on first down, he'll go no huddle right into a play action pass when it's 2nd and short and try to hit the deep shot there, but didn't go there on that time, just ran the ball.
3rd and 5, back to pass. It's a dangerous throw, and it's intercepted. Oh, my goodness, it's been picked off, and it's Texas football. I'm not sure who grabbed it, but a huge interception of force on the right side. The ball was late, and it's been picked off, I believe, by number 9. And, oh, my goodness, hold my PJs and spank me because we got our first turnover of the game.
That was awesome. What a defensive play by this Texas team. And all of a sudden, Coach Burt, when it was looking really, really ugly, what a huge turnaround. Get the ball right back, and here we go. Got to do something on offense, though, to truly respond, but a huge turnover right here in the game.
Now he's back to pass. Maybe he's going to take a shot. Here's a throw over the middle. Oh, and I thought it might be picked off. A little bit of stoner love there. And Malcolm Epps picks up 12 yards and a first down. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I just did 3 lines of cocaine in a Cuban strip club.
Well, I personally never experienced that in my life, but sure, I'll go with that. And wow, yeah, huge sequence of events right there. Dangerous pass again, but hey, if you get away with it, I guess it works. And, Coach Burt has not committed a turnover yet tonight, so I don't know. I guess it's working for him up until this point.
Right, the Longhorns are on a cattle drive now. 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Is he willing to basically just say, this is the decent first quarter? No, he's going to run the ball. Here's the the last play of the first quarter. He picks up 3 yards, and Robin Banks will close out the first quarter. A 7-0 lead for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, coached by Yofi. But Fantasy World League and his Texas Longhorns are marching and driving into Yofi's territory. Ball at the 43-yard line as we head into the second stanza.
Yes, that is honestly a pretty good first quarter. I think we really see that Coach Burt honestly executed his game plan pretty well, limited Yofi to just a couple of possessions, and got a turnover on the second one. So that's a big deal. Only 7-0. He's still right here in this game. I think so far it has been Coach Burt's style of game, and we're going to see how it continues to play out here in the rest of this game.
Yeah, and we thought maybe Yofi is more susceptible to playing other people's kind of games. And how dangerous is it for Yofi to get sucked in by this lethargic approach by Fantasy World League? It looked like he kind of fell asleep on the 6 there, threw that interception, and really kind of felt nonchalant about it.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's another run up the middle. It's Robin Banks yet again. Robin Banks, I tell you what, I don't know how good he is at Robin Banks, but I guess he's not in prison, so he must be pretty decent. He's had a pretty hefty workload so far today.
He has, he's gotten a lot of carries, not a ton of production. That yards per carry average is probably pretty low. But now 3rd and 5, probably a passing situation, especially with how the run game has been going so far. So we'll see what he comes out with here on 3rd and 5.
Again, hasn't converted a 3rd down yet all season. It's going to be a throw, and it's going to be close. Are they going to give it to him? They are. It's a 1st down. A little surprise the home team's stick crew didn't take or put an extra little link in the chain there and extend that and make it the 4th and inches. But he got the hometown roll there. A 1st down now at the 35-yard line. John Wayne must be accompanying Fantasy World League and these cattle down the field.
I think so. That is huge. I don't know if you remember, it was in a football game a few years ago that used a postcard to measure whether or not he got the 1st down. That's what I think that situation was like. But, hey, they gave it to him. That's huge. And here we go. This drive is alive and already in scoring position, but needs to put points on the board.
And here's a big run. He's going to get a block, and he's going to pick up 8 yards there. It was a weird formation by Yofi, a 3-down lineman just within the A gap there. And Mitchell got to the outside. I thought maybe that could go for even more, but he still picked up 8 yards here. And now we're inside the 30 of the Fighting Irish.
That is, and that is definitely the first time we've seen Coach Burt in this game run the read option, and maybe even going back to last game. I don't know if he just doesn't feel comfortable with it, but it's a good play and it works, and I hope we see him use that more and more as this game goes on because it worked for him there as he picked up 8 yards.
Yeah, he's staying in this pistol formation. Again, Notre Dame not really worried about the pass. He's going to run it this time. It's Robin Banks, and Robin Banks falls forward. He's got himself another 1st down here, and they continue to drive. If they keep driving like this, they might drive their way all the way to Oklahoma.
I think you're right, and I'm sure this is instilling a lot of confidence in Burt to be able to not just score or get down in scoring position, but sustain this drive. Like, he is able to sustain it and continue to move down the field and take some time off the clock too. And we're also seeing he's not taking it all the way down, all the way to like 3 or 4 seconds left on the play clock. He is snapping it a little bit earlier now.
Yeah, and again, those safeties continue to creep forward like your middle school stalker. 1st and 10, lots of pressure up in the middle. Now Mitchell's going to dump it out. He's got a block. He's got space to the 10, to the 5, and he's in the end zone for Pater. And Texas is going to knock this one up at 7. Unbelievable. As we're going to get a look at the replay. Hotty Toddy, what'd you see here?
That was awesome. A great play. Drop back, pressure was in his face, but he had him on the crossing route, was able to dump him off, and then just let your receiver do the work, take it all the way into the end zone, yards after catch, a huge stat. And wow, we are tied up at 7 all, just into the 2nd quarter, 5 minutes left. Y'all, I don't know if anybody saw this coming, but I'm not surprised, and I'm happy to see that we've got a good game so far. I kind of have a curse on me in the booth. So, but so far so good. Great, entertaining game.
Yeah, and I want to give another shout out here. I mean, the replay of that time in the production truck was fantastic. I believe, again, Bird's daughter is on that tonight, and that was, we had one little hiccup, but I mean, it's been perfect since then. So big shout out, big love there. As we head 7-7 here, 5:04 to go. 7 points off turnovers now for the Longhorns, and now the Catholics are back on the field for another crusade.
Yes, here we go. Let's see if we can. Coach Burt might force another turnover. Let's see what happens here. Coach Burt always got a smile on his face and always having fun.
Oh, more pressure right up the gut. He felt like he must have gone down a roller coaster because there was pressure right on his underbelly there. He was able to get rid of the football, but he coughed it up for an incompletion. And Night Sky, actually, if you're willing to get into the commentary, join our Discord. We're always looking for more help. For real, like we can for real use as much help as possible. So definitely hit up the Discord and we'll get you involved for sure. 2nd and 10 now. Book has time to throw. Now there's pressure right up the gut. He's running for his life, and he's just going to have to throw it away. And all of a sudden, I mean, it's like we're at a rodeo now, and a cowboy can't stay on the cattle.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane, guys. I mean, what a shift in momentum we see, right from the get-go. Has Coach Burt gotten into Yofi's head? And, like I don't know what's going on, but Yofi was able to move the ball so well so early and not so much. And really, the pressure has been the difference here. Burt is blitzing, but he is getting pressure on Ian Book and causing bad passes.
They're going to go with a run on 3rd and 10. Kyron Williams has nowhere to go. He told him to sit down, boy. 2-yard gain, and the Longhorns are going to get the ball back, and man, do they have all of the momentum now.
Absolutely. I think we'll see Yofi punt here. I mean, at your own 27, it's pretty risky to either go for it or pull off a fake punt. But wow, what a change in momentum here in this game.
I do want to add to that, as this punt is going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a relatively good field position here for Burt as he comes back on offense. But Yofi has surrendered, and not even just the most sacks so far in the G12, but the most sacks per game. So his offensive line has struggled to protect Ian Book. And so far, we've seen that trend continue as the pressure continues to come right up the middle. And now Burt with the ball back in his I formation under center. Does Yofi feel a little bit of pressure now? Tied football game. Do remember that Yofi will get the ball to start the second half. So this is a crucial possession as clock begins to tick under 5 seconds. It's going to be a play action pass yet again. He's going to throw a strike over the middle, and it should have probably been picked off. There was a blanket over that receiver, but fell incomplete.
Yeah, you can tell right there, Coach Burt had those laser eyes. He was locked into that receiver the entire play. No way, he was not looking anywhere else. Forced it, got very, very lucky that it was not picked off. The cornerback did not have the hands to pick that off. Huge break to get it back to a 2nd and 10 here now and keep this drive moving.
Yeah, we've seen Yofi's secondary also struggle to catch the football. They've dropped a lot of passes. They're going to go toss. He's going to get the ball to the outside. Now he's going to bring it back inside. It looked like he may have been able to pick up a little bit more, but he only ends up with 4, still making this third down a little bit more manageable.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to be Coach Burt's game. The entire thing is getting it into a 3rd and manageable. Although we haven't seen him be super successful on 3rd downs all season long. All season long, but in the one game he's played, 1.5 games now. I think that's still his game plan, is get it into 3rd and manageable so that he can hopefully convert and just keep his slow, methodical drives moving down the field.
Yeah, and here's going to come out 5 wide. Here we're 5 wide. Yofi's predicting pass here. It looks like he's not going to send very much. He's going to rush the safety, though, off the side. It's going to be a crossing route. It's completed over the middle. It looked like it was in man coverage, and those crossing routes have become lethal here.
Absolutely. Just a lot of chaos, honestly, right there in the middle of the field. Receivers going all which way. Looks like his defenders got a little messed up on which one to guard and was able to sneak that guy open and pick up a huge 3rd down. And look at Coach Burt picking up multiple 3rd downs now. Got one on the last drive, another one on this one, and he's keeping this going.
Interesting strategy there by Yofi. Only rushed 3, but then he brought one of the safeties down, and he's going to go back to the ground game here. Robin Banks this time has nowhere to go, and I mean nowhere to go. I mean, there were more guys there than private school. I mean, it was just disgusting. 2nd and 13 now. And we haven't really seen this yet. We haven't really seen Burt really behind the sticks. And here we are, 2nd and 13. Should be an interesting play call coming up.
Absolutely. Not sure what we're going to see him go with here. You know, I think 2nd down is typically a rundown for Coach Burt. But when you're already behind the sticks, I think it's maybe time to look for a pass here.
2nd and 13. He's going with the flex bone formation. You know, I love that formation. He has all the time to throw. He's going to find someone open over the middle, and he completes it for a 1st down. How about it? Eagles, again, over the middle. I don't know if it's a bald eagle, but I know that's a 1st down. And again, Texas is into Notre Dame territory.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge play. Once again, I think this is what I've seen Burt do tonight that really excites me. He's coming out in what look like run formations and then throwing out of them, and I think that's really keeping Yofi on his toes.
And he's being very aggressive as we get down to under 3 minutes. And you know Burt would love to go down and score here and leave nothing on the clock for the Fighting Irish. Now it's a play action, or excuse me, a read option, and he is just gobbled up in the backfield. I mean, there's just nowhere to go. And yet again, Fantasy finds himself behind the sticks.
Absolutely, but hey, it worked for him last drive, so let's see what he can do here. See if he's able to pick it up. But he's also killing a lot of clock here on this drive, regardless of how it ends. And that's big for him to be able to once again play this slow type of game style.
Yeah, again, cover 1 coming from Yofi here. He's going to leave his suspect secondary against some pretty good wide receivers in isolated man-on-man coverage. Let's see if that is going to hurt them. Here it goes. Here's a throw. Does he have the time? He does. It's a corner route. It's a dangerous throw, and it's going to be intercepted on the sideline. I believe he got a foot in. It was a long way to throw the football. It was well covered, and it's an interception. I think he got a foot. It was really tough to see over there.
It was. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they called it an interception. I don't know. If you're Coach Burt, do you challenge it? You got all 3 timeouts, but looks like you're not. Looks like he's going to accept the fate and move on, and here we go.
How about the resiliency from as Book is going to try to he got killed on a throw, but he's able to get it to Skowronek for a first down. Ian Book slow to get up there. But how about the resiliency for Yofi there? You know, all of the momentum is in Texas's favor, and he's able to hold on there, get an interception.
Yeah, that is huge. Tough break for Coach Burt to be able to have to turn the ball over there. But we'll see if he's able to drive it down now and score before halftime.
And Kyron Williams bounces this to the outside. He tried a spin move. It did not work as we head under 2 minutes here in the second quarter. I mean, this is a huge drive right here. This is the Tom Brady drive before the half that really can set the whole tone for the second half. How important is it for Texas to hold them here?
It is absolutely crucial for Texas to not give any points here because we've seen, I mean, neither team has scored a lot so far, but giving up a touchdown here could honestly prove to be costly. That 2 minutes before half is always a big time to score points.
Thank you so much.
Third and inches right now as Yofi gets a raid by Kress for press. Good for him. 3rd and inches now. Mayer's no, he's not gonna go in motion. Oh my goodness, and he is swarmed by a bunch of Longhorns, absolutely stampeded. And now it's kind of an interesting decision. You just punt this football away here?
I think you do. I mean, you can really – I mean, Burt's not going to call a timeout. It doesn't look like – so you can bleed it down to where there's only about 25 seconds left in this quarter. Burt's not going to go score in 25 seconds, so I would just punt it away, you know, and see what happens. But at the same time, you could just go for it and see if you're able to pick up a conversion. And then even if you don't get it, Burt gets the ball, but he's coming out in punt formation here, so that's what I expect to see.
Yeah, and you know what? I get this decision, but at the same time, this is kind of playing, as they almost blocked that, this is sort of playing into Burt's hands here, as Eagles is going to have a chance to return. He breaks a tackle, gets to the left side, he breaks another tackle, and he's forced out before the 30-yard line. But in a way, I mean, this is a very conservative play call by Yofi Sanders. I mean, he is, you know, one of the better offenses in the league, and just needed 4 yards to possibly at least get a field goal, but seems pretty content going into the half of a tie football game.
Yeah, I think he does too. And yeah, if you're Burt, you're celebrating being tied at half. You know, I mean, what did we say the spread was? 28 points, and you're tied at halftime. That is huge. So I know Burt's got to be happy with this.
He's gonna go read option here. He's got a little dance move. He breaks one tackle, and Mitchell. Now, do you think about maybe he's gonna use a timeout, so he's definitely gonna think about it. 19 seconds, 2 timeouts. Only needs about 30, 25 yards to get in the field goal range here, Hottie Toddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pick up that on your first play of the drive. You know, very conservative play call, read option, but he's able to break some tackles and pick up a lot of yards. So, yeah, now with 2 timeouts still, you are pushing this drive, trying to put points on the board and have a chance to take a lead going into halftime.
And Yofi's secondary, we saw them creeping up early. Now they're playing back. It's going to be a run up the middle, and it's going to be Robin Banks. He picks up about 6, and no timeout is called. So now the timeout's called. So he lost a couple seconds right there to not calling the timeout immediately. 12 seconds left now. He's at midfield again. Probably needs at least 15 yards for a decent shot at a field goal here. Only 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd and 4 here. So if I'm Burt, I'm throwing an out or a curl over towards the sideline, seeing if I can just pick up a quick 10 yards and getting out of bounds.
And 2nd and 4. He's going to bring somebody in motion. It's going to be a run. Robin Banks makes, or that's not Robin Banks. That would be maybe Eagles. And he picks up 10, but not enough. And it looks like Burt's going to be content to just go to the half. So we're just going to go to that. Not knowing a Hail Mary, nothing like that. I want to welcome you guys into the booth. I'm Hardcore CFB. With me is Hottie Toddy. And we are knotted up at 7, Hottie Toddy. Not exactly what the experts thought coming into this one.
No, definitely not. Much closer game. I think it's interesting there, and some people are saying it in the chat. I'm surprised Burt doesn't take a shot there. Call a timeout with 1 second left. Throw the Hail Mary. I don't know if he just doesn't trust his quarterback's arm to get it there. Worried about, I don't know, a pick 6 or something like that. I mean, the odds of that, in my opinion, are very slim. So if I'm Coach Burt, I'm taking that shot there. I'm throwing that ball down the field and just seeing what happens with it, you know? But overall, tie ball game at half. No one saw this coming, I don't think. So props to Coach Burt for playing his game and keeping this thing close.
Yeah, and I don't. What does Thursday mean by we got at TD? Do you know what that means?
I do not. No clue.
All right, and we're going to move on from that. Hopefully he can clarify that. But, guys, don't go anywhere because this whole week, if you're not already following the G12, make sure to hit that follow button right now. We have a whole week ahead. Tuesday, we got a game. Wednesday, we have a game. And Thursday, got a game. Thursday saying got his first touchdown. Yes, indeed we did. Fantasy World League not only picking up his first touchdown of the game, but he also picked up multiple third down conversions, Hotty Toddy. And that seemed to be the thing that kind of kept him going in this first half, was being able to continue to move the sticks even when he got behind the chains.
Absolutely huge. Not just his first touchdown, but his first third down conversion also on the season. And I'd be curious to see the stats. I don't know how many yards Coach Burt had in that first half, but I think to say it's probably more yards than he had in his entire last game, which is absolutely huge for him to be able to, be able to move the ball and keeps his steady drives. And we talked about that being his game plan before we even came into this game. And here we are, and he's tied at halftime. And what else can you ask for?
Yeah, and with every good game or good half, there's kind of the opposite. Let's talk about Yofi now. 7-7 necessarily where maybe we expected him to be that, but that's where he's at, as we're going to get some of these stats here possibly. What has Yofi fallen into the trap that Fantasy World League has set for him? Or do you think Yofi's still just trying to figure it out himself and you expect maybe of an explosion of offense here in the second half?
Well, I think we really saw the game change when Yofi threw that first pick. I mean, it especially seemed like that really kind of got in his head. He kind of got off his game after that. And I really also think we saw Coach Burt start playing more aggressive defense after that first drive. I do expect Yofi to make some adjustments and try to respond here in the second half, try to put up points. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to if Burt continues to play his game of clock management. I don't think he's going to be able to put a lot of points because he's not going to touch the ball a lot. I mean, we had 4 total possessions for each team in the first half?
I don't even think they had. Did they even have
only 3? I know Yofi had 2.
No, you're right.
They
had 4.
I think he had 4.
Because Yofi punted twice, had an interception, and he had the touchdown. That is correct.
Right.
Which is insane. So 4 more touchdowns each. That's crazy. Book's going to go and drop back the pass. He's got all time. Now he's getting flushed to his left. He's going to just roll out. No, now he's going to throw it. It's a dangerous throw, but it's caught. I thought maybe a fumble for a second there, but Austin Jr. picks up a big first down, and the Irish are on their way towards a touchdown here, already at midfield. Big first play right off the bat.
Yeah, huge first play. That's got to hurt a little bit for Coach Burt as he, wants to keep the game slow. But props to Yofi for keeping that play alive with Book, rolling out, buying as much time as he possibly can before finding the open man and getting it downfield for a 26-yard gain.
Right. I mean, that was a fantastic game, but I mean, it took a lot of work to do it. As 1st and 10 now, Austin Jr. in motion. We're seeing a lot more motion from Yofi. It's going to be a play-action pass. He's got time to throw. It's a dangerous throw yet again over the middle. Maybe could have been possibly intercepted. And again, it's Austin Jr. for another huge gain. But that one probably made Yofi tighten the butt cheeks up a little bit.
I definitely think so. I'm actually surprised that wasn't picked off. I really thought, or at least batted down. I thought that he would get a hand on that and be able to bat it down. But he doesn't, and huge once again. I mean, dangerous throw, but it works for Yofi. He picks up the first down.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a bit actually in the G12 this year. A lot of dangerous throws, and that's just how it's kind of been. As Kyron Williams picks up a huge chunk of yards, they're 2nd and 1 now, and this is kind of more what we expected, right? This is the Yofi offense, very balanced, can run, can pass, and keep the defense on the heels. Fantasy World is finding himself in a little bit of trouble here, trying to get himself out of the corner, per se. It's going to be a run to Kyron Williams. He breaks one tackle. He takes a huge shot, and he actually doesn't pick up the first. He's going to be just a couple inches shy. And this is, probably an easy third down and pick up, but still a big one for Fantasy World League if he can manage to stop him here.
Absolutely. Hold him to a field goal here, although I don't know. We may see Yofi go for it, especially if it stays at 4th and inches, go to maybe a QB sneak or something like that. But yeah, big stop there to force this third down. Third downs have played a very important factor in this game, and I think they're going to continue to do that the rest of this game. Yeah,
not under center for Ian Book. He's going to come out in shotgun. Skoronek, it's going to be a play action. He's going to throw a shot over the middle. It is deflected. The ball was thrown out into the flat. I think it was to right, and it was almost picked off, almost caught. Instead, it's going to be an incompletion, and kind of a bizarre strategy there, Hotty Toddy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you expect 3rd and inches, just run the ball up the middle, but as we see, it looks like he is going to go for it here on 4th down. Not surprising at all. And maybe he knew he was going for this
And Fantasy World League going to use a crucial timeout here. Didn't like what he was set up in. And so Yofi's like, okay, well, I guess we'll try it again here. But again, it looks like Yofi's not going to go under center, going to go from the shotgun yet again. And guys, I mean, hold on to your seats. A big 4th down conversion coming up early in this 3rd quarter. I mean, it is a tied football game. Burt is jacked up on Mountain Dew. And here we go. 4th and inches now. Yofi waiting for the snap. Ian Book. It's going to be a run option. He's going to get it, and he's not going to get there. It's going to be a turnover on down. The Texas Longhorns stand yet again. Big Papa Burt making a big-time stop, and the Longhorns have the football back.
This is unreal, guys. Wow, what a defensive performance from these Texas Longhorns. This is absolutely insane. 28-point underdogs, guys. Let's remind you of that. What a performance. Maybe the underdog performance of the year so far in the G12. Props to Coach Burt. Huge defensive stop.
Now he's coming out in the full house pistol formation. 4 seconds left on the play clock now. They were still celebrating on the sideline. They were late getting their offense out in the field. Robin Banks is just going to run it right up the gut for 2 more yards. He has not had much success with that so far. I got to give a lot of credit to Yofi and that defense. Really have shut down Robin Banks, pretty much put him in jail. And he hasn't had much success with that. But I would like to remind the viewers at home, remember, late in that first half, Yofi had a chance to go for it. Decided not to, decided to punt the football away. He actually had himself out of 3rd and inches before losing a couple yards. We saw 3rd and inches yet again, who went to a pass incompletion before not getting on 4th down. So that's twice now on 3rd and inches the Longhorns have been able to get a stop. Here's a pass over to the left side, and he picks up about 5. He's halfway to another 1st down. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely huge 3rd down coming up right here. But I think this is something else I've noticed from Coach Burt on offense is although he is running up the middle and not absolutely like doing well, it's setting him up for when he's run the read option, which he doesn't run a lot, but he's run the read option and he's been able to pick up big yards as we have a huge 3rd down right here.
3rd and 3 is going to the flex bone formation. I hate to say we're starting to see a little bit of a copycat league here. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I didn't know their quarterback was Moses, but he had a whole wide open freaking he just parted the sea there. I mean, it was just gorgeous, and he just found the one Notre Dame player left over and ran into him. It's still a 1st down. The ball's still moving in the right direction for Texas. But at one point, Hottie Toddy, you got to think here that he's going to have to hit a big play eventually, right?
I think so, too. And I thought that was going to be it. I thought we were going to be running for 6 there, but didn't quite get there.
Here we go. Robin Banks breaks 1 tackle. And again, Roddy Dottie, it looks like he's one guy away from really breaking this open. And he hasn't been able to really do that yet, but he's done enough as Yofi's making some adjustments. Sick of the option stuff. And Burt seems to be kind of the little evil genius over there right now. He's got the momentum, he's got the football, and he's got his defense behind him here. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He absolutely does. And, hey, the option's keeping Yofi on his toes, and I'm loving this. I'm loving seeing Coach Burt keep it, mixing it up on offense.
Here comes the run. This time they were ready for him. They were absolutely ready for him. The defensive adjustments paid off for Yofi here, and it's a 3rd and 11 with 3:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The computer is looking mightily wrong right now. The spread is looking absolutely outrageous. It's a 28-point spread. But I tell you what, no moral victories in the G12. Burt is, as we inch closer to the 4th quarter, is looking for a dub. Yofi just looking for a dub. And, man, this 3rd and 11 is going to bring somebody a lot closer to doing so.
Absolutely. Huge play right here. Let's see what Coach Burt's got as he comes out in 5 wide. Let's see what he can do.
He's going to make an audible now. Mitchell has a lot of time. Now he's just down to 10 seconds. He's dropped back to pass. He has all the time in the world. Only 3 rushing. Now there's pressure, and the pressure is going to affect the throw. And Mitchell's a little bit slow to get up on his haunches there. And Burt's going to have to punt the football away. And now, Hottie Toddy, how tired is this defense going to be here?
I mean, I think they're going to be tired. You really were hoping that Burt was going to be able to, at the very least, pick up a few 1st downs there, flip field position at the very least. But let's hope he gets a good punt off here and pins Yofi back as far as he can before he brings him out on defense.
Did you see that total yards total so far? Yofi's at 152 and Texas is at 144.
Wow, absolutely defensive battle so far.
No doubt about it as the clock continues to drool down. The punt is away. It's going to go right to Brown at the 20-yard line. Heels on a 20. Keys going to take it to the right, and he's going to be Oh, there's a
Yeah,
penalty,
face
though. This
mask,
might
face
hurt him on
mask.
field position.
Face
I think
mask. What?
it's going to be
I didn't
clipping.
see that.
Yofi thought he was going to get a face mask, but it's going to be a clipping. And so what could have been decent, good field position, now Yofi's backed all the way up at the 16, and things are just not
Also,
getting
face mask, face
easier for the Fighting Irish.
No, definitely not. That's a huge penalty there.
Come on.
Backing him all the way back to the
What are we
16-yard
talking about
line.
here, ref? That was a
Long way to
great
go to
return.
put points on the board. And especially with how this Texas defense has played most of this game. They have played lockdown defense, and I've just been thoroughly impressed with this defense. I think we're in for a good finish here as we time continues to tick down in the third quarter.
And Kaz Gray had a decent comment in the chat about possibly playing down, as that's a nice shoestring tackle right there. Kyrie Williams trying to bounce it outside, almost was able to do so, but again, this Texas defensive line has been so good. Kaz saying, hey, doesn't it seem like Yovi's kind of just playing with Bird a little bit? And Kaz, if I would say that, but really, Yofi hasn't had the ball enough to really score that many more possessions. I mean, he just hasn't had it. A couple big subs here and there, and that's where we've gotten to the point we've gotten to in this game. As Skowronek takes a corner route and he picks up a first down. Lots of pressure that time, and Ian Book's face is able to read the defense and get the football out. And now hurry-up huddle is coming here for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I really don't think Yofi's playing down. I think Coach Burt's just playing maybe the game of his life and giving Yofi all he can handle right now.
First and 10, Skowronek in motion. Now they're going to run counter the other way. He's going to go right up the gut that time. Picks up 3. But again, I mean, only 2 minutes left. Hotty Toddy, don't you feel like he's kind of playing in Burt's right into Burt's hands here with only 2 minutes left in this third quarter?
I mean, maybe he is, but here we see him going back to the no huddle. So I don't know. He's kind of mixing it up a little bit.
And maybe he likes the personnel in there right now, as he has 2 tight ends in there. One tight end has scored the lone touchdown for the Irish so far. And this one he's going to go curl routes. Oh, and it's deflected. I think it's not going to be a fumble. Not going to be a fumble. A deflection. Right at the line of the scrimmage. I'm not sure who he was going to try to get that football to. I think maybe the curl route on the outside.
I love to see that.
And unfortunately, or fortunately for Texas and unfortunately for Irish, the ball was batted away. And 3rd and 7, Hotty Toddy. Here we go.
Huge third down right here. This could be a big stop for Coach Burt or a huge conversion for Yofi.
And Kaz Gray saying, at his best, I think everyone at their best is super hard to beat in this league, to be honest with you. 3rd and 7 now. Here's a throw. It's a little dangerous, and it's going to be caught, though. It looked like the ball hung up in the air in the Indiana sky for a little bit longer than Yofi wanted. But as we get this replay here, Hotty Toddy, it was able to snag it, but it was a little bit of a dangerous throw.
It was. I feel like that may be the phrase of this game is dangerous throw. Because we've seen a lot of them in this game. But big conversion for Yofi as we see the first downs. 8 for Coach Burt, 7 for Yofi. Wow, this has been quite a game.
And here comes Williams again. This time he's going to go inside. He's going to bounce it outside. Players of the game. I think for Texas, whoever had that touchdown has to be it. I don't know if that was Eagles or not. Mitchell, actually, the quarterback, Mitchell, for Texas has done a really good job, and I think the entire Texas defense may be a player of the game. Or maybe Bird's daughter for doing the graphics for us as well.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that. And I think Kyrie Williams has done just enough on Yofi's side, but not crazy impressive, as it's going to be a screen. He's got some blockers over there, a spin move later, and he picks up about 5, but, man, that could have been a touchdown right there.
Yeah, it could have been dangerous for Burt. Missed the early tackle, but was able to still bring him down. And here we go, 3rd and 2. Third downs, once again, played a huge part in this game. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, 3rd and shorts have been favorable, but not this one. This is a big one for Tyree. Tyree is a little bit quicker than Williams, and he came in fresh, and the Texas defense is looking a little tired as we're under a minute in the third quarter. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Absolutely. And Burt, we've seen Burt, though, defense tighten up here, so he's going to have to do that here. Really, really needs to try to hold Yofi to either nothing or to 3 points at the most, because getting a touchdown here, we've seen Burt's offense struggle.
There's a lot of pressure right in Ian Book's face. He's just going to throw it. Ooh, a dangerous throw. He maybe had a step on a defender, but that was a dangerous throw, and it ended up incomplete. But he had a whole freaking herd of Texas Longhorns creeping down on him.
Absolutely, he did. I mean, massive pressure in his face, forced the quick rollout right into the boundary, but he's able to get rid of the ball and not lose any yards, and now we got a 2nd and goal.
Second and goal, Kyrie Williams. It's going to be a draw up the gut. So Williams backed out, made you think maybe a pass is coming. Try to get a little sneaky there, and Ian Book is gobbled up before he can get going. Third and goal now, Hottie Toddy from the 6-yard line.
Once again, I feel like a broken record. Third down's huge in this game. Coach Burt's had some massive stops. Let's see if they can get another one right here. Would be absolutely huge with only 18 seconds left in this third quarter.
Yeah, this could be back-breaking if it's a touchdown, and it's going to have time to throw, and it's going to be incomplete. Nobody was even close to being open. I'm not sure if that was trying to get out to right. Thompson was in coverage, and you got to take the points, right, Hottie Toddy?
I mean, absolutely. I'm taking the points right here. I mean, there's only been 14 total points scored in this game, but it looks like Yofi is probably going to take them. I mean, he thought about it there for a second, it seemed. But, yeah, you absolutely have to take the points here.
And that seems to be a big win for this Texas defense yet again. I mean, we have seen – I mean, they survived the third quarter onslaught. Texas didn't do anything offensively there. Notre Dame kept coming at them, and they only gave up 3 points in the third quarter as we head in 10 seconds to the final stanza in this one. Emigs, I believe the touchdown was by Wright, the tight end, on a pass play by Ian Book. Hottie Toddy, 3-point lead for Notre Dame as we head into the fourth. What are your thoughts?
You know, I think we're going to see Burt come out, and honestly, Burt would love to just take the next 7 minutes and 10 seconds off this clock to score a touchdown with no time left on the clock and win the game. I don't know if he's going to be able to quite be able to do that, but that's going to be his game plan here, and I think we're going to see him take the air out of the football still, try to just pick up first downs and move down the field and put a touchdown on the board.
Maryland I formation now. It's going to be a fake. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. He's got nowhere to go. Maybe got a little too cute there.
Let's go.
The old Maryland I formation. He had 4 running backs behind the quarterback there. That's a kind of a dismal way to end the third quarter with a huge loss, 7-yard loss there. But I was going to say, how many formations have we seen from Burt tonight?
We have seen a lot. We've seen the flex bone. We've seen the pistol. We've seen the eye. We've seen the strong eye. We've seen the Maryland eye. As we see him come out in the flex bone now. But, yeah, very variety of plays.
He's got some pressure right up the gut. Can he get rid of the ball? No, he can't get rid of it in time. That's 1 or 2 times we've now seen Mitchell get put on his back right before he's thrown the football. And 3rd and 17 down by 3. This seems like this is dangerous territory right here.
It is. I mean, not only is it obviously a big third down that he needs to convert, but now he's backed up deep in his own territory, and if he does punt, he's going to give Yofi great field position.
He's coming out in flex bone yet again, not really showing his cards at all here. It's going to be a pass, I believe, out of it, and it is. Yofi's ready for the pass. Again, only rushing 3. He's going to take a shot deep. He has somebody. Oh, he had a step. No. Maybe the throw was a little bit more over the top. He had a step on the defender. But Bracey was able to knock that one away. He user swatted it. And one-on-one cover Toddy on the outside there.
I love the play call from Coach Burt. We have not really seen him go to that. I love the play call. Yes, that ball is just a little bit more on target, a little bit deeper, and it is probably maybe even in the end zone for 6. Tough break there, but like I said, I love the play call.
And here's a punt. He's going to have a decent amount of room to run. He might get to the 50 or even more. He's going to not break a tackle. A crucial tackle there by number 9, keeping him on the right side of the 50. But Hottie Toddy, I think we speak for both of us here when I say this next drive might be the most important drive of the football game. Down by 3, the Texas defense has been on the field the entire second half. How important is this drive right now for both players?
I mean, absolutely huge drive. You almost think a touchdown from Yofi probably puts the game out of reach just because of the offense we've seen, but hold him to a field goal or less, and Coach Burt is still in this game with a chance to win it late.
And more pressure, but he's able to get the ball to Lindsey. Lindsey is a complete speedster. He's able to pick up about 15 and get himself into Texas territory. And it's important to note here, this is about the exact same spot. Had a minor league, and right about here, he threw that interception. The only time Burt's been able to score was off of that interception, right around this point of the field. He's going to go run this time to Williams to the outside. He now bounces it back inside, and he picks up about 4 before he's finally brought down. And as we get to 6:30 left on the game clock here, Hottie Toddy, I mean, running, passing, it seems like Yofi's starting to figure out this Texas defense a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so too. We've seen his offense be more consistent, especially in the second half compared to the first half. But, yeah, I don't know. Once again, though, we've also seen Burt's defense tighten up here late, so we'll see what happens.
2nd and 6 now. Clock is beginning to drain a little bit more. It's going to be Book. Book's going to run. He breaks the tackle, gets to the outside, and he's planted on his back, but they're going to give him the hometown first down. Move the chain gang, and he's going to find himself. Guys, make sure to go vote for the player of the game. Emig just put that in the chat. Make sure to go vote for the player of the game, please. Thank you very much. 27-yard line now. Under 6 minutes to go. 1st and 10. Got to hold him to a field goal here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a touchdown probably puts the game out of reach. I know there's still a lot of time left. But just with the way his offense has gone today, I think you got to hold him to 3 or less.
Kyron Williams, the ball almost was stripped out that time. Nonetheless, a big tackle for loss there. Gets Yofi behind the sticks a little bit. I cannot believe we've only seen 2 touchdowns scored in this game, Hotty Toddy.
I know. I mean, like, the spread was 28, and we're not even probably going to see 28 total points in this game. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. Defensive battle. I don't think anybody saw this coming.
2nd and 13 now as I take a bite of a chip. He's got time to throw. He's going to throw it over the middle. It's a dangerous throw, and it's knocked away. But, my God, that could have been picked off for the Holy Grail.
Wow. Oh, I thought we were about to have a game changer right there. A game of inches. I feel like we need to say dangerous throw because it was so dangerous. Yofi catches a huge break.
That was more dangerous than trying to capture Jason Bourne. I mean, just absolutely dangerous throw. 3rd and 13 now. Book, back to pass. He has time in the pocket. He's going to take another shot. And again, it is batted away. They're playing sandlot baseball out there. And just like that, Texas is going to hold Ian Book and company to a long field goal. And the Longhorns, yet again, make a freaking stop, Hotty Toddy.
Absolutely. Like, huge stop. Get him to a field goal here as we see the kick is up. And it is good, but wow, a 6-point game, a touchdown still wins the game. Huge for this Texas defense. And I want to see Coach Burt drive down the field here and put some points on the board. This would be awesome.
Would anyone believe that Coach Burt, voted on the 2nd best player in preseason, would have a chance in the 4th quarter to take the lead, not tie the game, not be down by a touchdown, take the lead on this next drive? Unbelievable performance by him. But again, no moral victories here in the G12. You want to win in that win column. This is your chance right now. 5:13 on the clock. You have the football. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. You gotta just put everything you got. No more. Don't hold anything back in the playbook here. You just gotta pull out every stop to go down the score.
He starts it out very similar to every single drive we've seen so far. Robin Banks right up the gut, picks up about $1. Is Burt now? He seems a little bit more anxious now. We've seen him very calm and collective for a lot of this game, but he seems a little bit more anxious now, maybe a little bit more on his tippy toes. Yofi looks like he's not going to hold back. Looks like he's going to send the blitz here. 2nd and 9. Here comes the blitz. Again, more clock being wasted. Maybe Fantasy doesn't want to give up any sort of give Yofi any more time. He wants to win and get out of here. The blitz is going to be held off. There's a throw. It's going to be completed over the middle. It's a 1st down at the 40-yard line. Another huge catch. I believe that's Eagles again. Man, Eagles has been a playmaker for the Texas Longhorn offense so far today.
Yes, he absolutely has. Those crossing routes have been what's worked for Coach Burt to pick up, especially when he gets a little bit behind the sticks. But yeah, to go on your comment, agreed. Coach Burt wants, if he's either scoring to win the game or he's losing with 0 seconds left on the clock and the ball in his hands, because he is not going to leave Yofi any time if he can help it. He wants to just put the ball in the end zone and walk out of here with a victory in South Bend, which would just be a huge win.
Right, he said, I don't got time for a mass. I can reconcile a little bit later, as that throws a dangerous one. That's kind of been the word used all day long, but falls innocently to the turf. 2nd and 10 now, 4:10 left in the game.
Yeah, huge. I'm kind of surprised. We've seen Coach Burt run the ball a lot on 1st down. We see him come out and pass. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's good to keep the defense on their toes a little bit. But all of a sudden now, though, it's a 2nd long, and he's behind the sticks, which is not where Coach Burt wants to be when he's running his offense.
Right, but he has done fairly well respectively in these situations here. Hamilton, again, creeping up. I mean, there's a lot of people inside the box here. 2nd and 10, now back to pass. Mitchell is getting a little bit of pressure. He throws it. It's going to be intercepted by Awusa Komora. And that is a big-time interception. I don't want to say it's going to be the seal, but that is a huge pick on man coverage right there. Take me to church. This is my body. This is my blood, which will be given up to Yofi. A huge interception. The ball now at the 44-yard line for the Fighting Irish.
Wow. I mean, great defensive play by the linebacker there to make that pick. But, yes, that is huge. But got to get a stop right here. Game's not over yet. Still 4 minutes left. Plenty of time left.
It was a screen pass, but no one's open. It looks like someone might be deep down the field. He's not going to risk it, though. An interesting decision. I don't know if it was eventually thrown away or sacked or he just ran out of bounds, but regardless, the clock is going to stop. And usually, okay, 4 minutes, that's plenty of time for anybody. But when it comes to Burt, every single second seems to matter right now. And if you can drain a little bit of clock, you're going to try to drain a little bit of clock here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the clock's going to still go no matter what? I'm sorry, because it is above 2 minutes.
Okay.
He's not worried, though. He's snapping it up with 5 seconds, and then he throw out the Skorotic. He's going to break a tackle and pick up a first down.
Pitch and catch, baby. Pitch and catch.
Yeah, huge first down there. And going to keep this drive alive. And I don't know. I mean, do you think we see Yofi? Do you think we see Yofi go for a score here, or we just kind of see him try to take the time off the clock?
I'm not sure. I think if he has a chance for the juggler, he's going to take it as Kyron Williams breaks a huge one over the middle. This Texas Longhorn defense has got to be exhausted. I mean, they've been on the field the entire second half. That's kind of been the difference so far in this one, is Texas has basically done nothing on offense in this second half. And I think if Yofi has that opportunity to do so, he might take advantage of it, put this one to bed. But also, I don't think he's going to take any risk right now. I think he feels pretty confident in his situation, especially with his defense. It's going to be a throw out to the flat, and they're going to give him the first. I don't know about the spot on that one, but they're going to give him the first. Only 3:17 left to go, and all of a sudden, important note that Texas only has 2 timeouts.
Yeah, that is big. We saw him use the timeout earlier. It was not wasted, though. He used it when it was that 3rd and inches, turned 4th and inches, and he was able to get the stop there.
That's a good point. Kyron Williams on a counter play. Breaks to the outside, breaks through a couple tackles, and picks up another 5 yards. 3 minutes left to go in this football game. Just a friendly reminder to everybody, this is the first game of the week. We have 3 more games for you this week, including tomorrow night, Thrizzy and Rocky Top taking on each other, Miami versus Tennessee. Wednesday, Hardcore CFB taking on Kaz Cray and his Florida State Seminoles. And Thursday, Baker Vision taking on the new coach in the G12, St. Breezes. Williams to the outside, nothing going on there. And this is probably the game right here, Hottie Toddy. 3rd and 5 now, 2:35 left to go in this game.
Yeah, it is. 3rd down right here. I mean, maybe if he picks up the first down, you have one more final chance to get a stop. But, at the very least, though, the problem is you really need to force a turnover here, because even if Yofi converts a field goal here, it's a 9-point game, and it's going to make it tough for Coach Burt.
And Williams is going to get stuffed. Maybe a timeout here by Burt.
I would be calling a timeout if I'm the coach, and there it is. He does call the timeout, stops the clock with 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You got to bring the heat on this field goal. Hope you get lucky and block it, but we're going to see the kick up and good, and it is a 9-point game. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. We're going to have to see Burt really come out of his shell here, see what he comes out with on offense. But, yeah, it is not over yet. There is still 2 minutes and 8 seconds left, and we're going to have to see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're going to have to see an onside kick to see something crazy here. It's worth noting, though, if that's a certain situation, Texas can take a field goal and get the onside kick. So it's not necessarily 4-down territory. You're going to need a field goal at some point. There's nothing wrong with taking that field goal first. Also, I should say, Yofi has not scored a touchdown since his opening possession, which is just insane to me, and a credit to Fantasy World League and how he's done. But, guys, I know we've been talking about, an amazing performance by Burt, and I agree. But also, Yofi, nobody's really rooting for him. I mean, let's just be frank with it. All the pressure's on him, and he was able to, withhold that momentum shift and has played a really nitty and really gritty kind of game. And right now he's got himself in a good position to win this game.
He absolutely does. Props to Yofi for making those adjustments at halftime to be able to pull away in the second half.
Yeah, there's another throw and another completion over the middle. And this is what Fantasy World League's going to need to do a lot more of here in the final 2 minutes. I mean, he's got to move now. I mean, we've got to open up the playbook, and that's exactly what he's doing. Still wasting a little bit of time. at the line of scrimmage, but he gets rid of the ball, and it's going to be a dangerous throw. It's going to be picked off by Rutherford. And, you can start the bus at this point. That turnover is probably going to put this one in the books. You can read the final song in the hymn because, Joy to World's playing, and this one's in the books.
It is, and definitely, we talked about there are no moral victories in this league. We do have to give major props to Coach Burt for playing him tough all the way until this fourth quarter. Turnovers ended up being crucial in this game, and we see, as we've said all along, dangerous throw has been the word of this game. Feel like we've used it on nearly every single drive from both coaches. But it was a good game from Coach Burt, holding him to 16 points. We see Burt get a touchdown on the board, something we didn't see in his first game. And overall, really just a good performance from him. But Yofi made the adjustments when he needs to pull out the win here.
Yeah, and Wildcat formation now for Tyree. He picks up the first down, and that one's going to put this one away. And I think we saw improvement from Burt, but at the same time, thankfully, this is only his second game because he has a lot of time and opportunity to continue to grow that offense. I think we saw little bits and pieces of where he can improve on offense, and we kind of saw what he wants to do. But I think there's a lot of room for improvement on his execution. As far as Yofi, I think we've seen what we always see from Yofi. I mean, he plays down to whoever he's playing against, and he did that yet again. So maybe that's something we'll get to ask him here. Guys, if you have any questions for Yofi, I'm sure he's going to hopefully be joining us in the booth here shortly. I want to thank everyone in chat.
3 picks.
And appreciate you guys being here, guys. Again, tomorrow we have more games as we bring it back to the booth here one time. This is Hardcore CFB. With me, of course, is Hottie Toddy. We still have a bunch of games this week, guys. On Thursday, as in tomorrow, Rocky Top Gaming and his Tennessee Volunteers are going to be taking on Thrizzy and the Miami Hurricanes. That is going to kick off at 7:30 Central. And then Wednesday, I'll be facing Kaz Cray and his Seminoles at 8:15 Central. And then Thursday, Baker Vision taking on those Oklahoma State Cowboys at 8:30 Central. And we're just waiting now. But as we kind of wait for Yofi here, what are you thinking for these games the rest of the week? What are you most excited for?
Hey, if we get 3 more games that are like tonight's game, then I am going to be glued to my computer screen for the rest of this week because this was a fantastic game. Nothing to take away from either user. Overall, a very, very close game. I'm personally very thankful to see a close game because I have seen a lot of blowouts when I've been in the commentary booth. So it was just great to see a really, really close battle, and I really hope we get to see that in these next few weeks or these next few nights as we get action, pretty much every weeknight again this week, which is just awesome here in the G12. What do you think about these upcoming games, Hardcore?
Yeah, I think, what I'm most excited for is we're going to get more conference games now. We're starting to get into conference game schedules. Kaz Cray and I are in a conference game, but we're going to get more conference games now. Pretty much, I believe Thrizzy and Rocky are a conference game, and I think Baker and St. Breezes is 2, but I might be wrong about that one. But I'm pretty sure Thrizzy and Rocky are. But nonetheless, I'm excited to get into conference play. What's your kind of key to the game tomorrow night as we look at that Rocky Top Thrizzy game that's kicking off?
I think that could be a good game. I think Thrizzy probably has had like the most up and down season that we've seen this year in the G12. A couple of really tough losses early on, but has bounced back a little bit, but caught some really unlucky breaks. But I think Thrizzy is really a good player. I mean, I think everybody's a good player this year. But I really think Thrizzy, I think Thrizzy is probably going to come out and put it on tomorrow night. I don't know. I've just got that feeling that Thrizzy's going to put on a show tomorrow night.
Gotcha. And I want to correct myself there. Actually, tonight was a conference game between Texas and Yofi. The rest of them this week are not conference games. So we'll get more conference games later next week as well. What about my game? I'm not going to speak much about it. Kaz Cray's going to be a good opponent. What do you think of the keys to that game as we Penn State goes on the road to take Florida State?
All right. Well, I said something off stream that I'm about to say off on stream. Maybe a hot take alert. I think Kaz is the best opponent you've played this season, Hardcore. I think he's going to give you a really, really tough game. But
let's cut you off real quick here. We'll get back to it in a second. I think we have head coach Yofi of his Notre Dame Irish in the chat. Is that correct?
What is going on, guys?
How are you doing today? Congratulations on the victory over Fantasy World League. How you feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling good. Wasn't a pretty win, but it was a win.
Yeah, and that's the first question that people in chat are asking us, and we have that same opinion. People are beginning to knock you, say, "Hey, you're playing down to the level of competition, whether it's a good opponent or whether maybe it's a lesser opponent." At least based off the preseason rankings, Fantasy World League was lower to the bottom. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that's true? And if it is to any degree, how do you kind of get out of that funk? How do you begin to play, Notre Dame football?
I think it's just a different game every week. So I don't know if it's that we're playing down. It's just we gotta adjust to different play styles and the way people play every week.
Absolutely. Scored one touchdown in the first half. Wasn't able to get into the end zone the rest of the game. That Texas defense, pretty stout. What were they doing to kind of slow you down offensively?
I think it's been like all year. Our offensive line just has been struggling to give us some time to make some plays. So we have to go with it's been a lot of quick passes, and we weren't able to hit those. So we had to try to get the run game going, and that wasn't going either.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how did Toddy go ahead?
Yeah, and Yofi, so, we saw your offense struggle, especially in those middle quarters, the second and third quarter. So what adjustments? I know you said it's a different opponent every week, and you kind of have to play different defenses and things like that. But what kind of offense adjustments can we exceed? Said your offensive line is struggling. So how are you going to continue to overcome that as you continue to play the rest of the season?
I think it's just getting plays that are going to work with an offense that's not giving you too much time, and you need just a couple more seconds. And I think maybe we just got to figure out a couple plays, maybe roll the pocket, maybe throw a couple screens in there every once in a while just to back people up. It's just figuring out ways to give us a little bit more time.
Yeah, and Yofi, one more question here from me. We really saw a lot this game. You creep those safeties up, really just full-on run commit. Is that something we are going to see from you more this season, or was that just because you knew that Coach Burt was going to come out in a lot of run-heavy formations and run the ball a lot?
I think as soon as we saw two running backs, we're bringing everybody down just to make sure. I mean, not every play we're bringing everybody, but we want to make sure that there's people up there to just make sure nobody's breaking through and running deep.
Yeah, and before we kind of let you go, I mean, at this point, Yovi, you're 4-1.
Exactly, right?
You've played every single week so far in the G12, which I'm not sure anyone else can say that besides Thrizzy. You're sitting here at 4-1. You still have Chuckleberry next, and then Rocky Top Gaming, and then D's Diabetes before you finally get 3 weeks off in a row.
Oh.
3 more games. You're almost there. How do you refocus? How do you get ready for Chuckleberry and also these just final 3 games before a little bit of a break?
I think I just got to watch some of their games a little bit more. I've seen a couple of them, but then I got to maybe see what they like to run a little bit more.
Okay, well, we appreciate your time, Yofi. Congratulations on the win. You're now 4-1 on the season. Congratulations, and I hope you have a good rest of your week, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
You as well.
Thanks,
Thank
Yofi.
you. All right, Hottie Toddy, I'll let you get back to what you were saying about Kaz Cray, because Kaz Cray, I'm sure, wants to hear all of the oh, yeah, and I should mention real quick, Emigs, Yofi will be the guest on the big board, which Emigs runs every Wednesday at 7:45 this week. So check that out. You'll get to kind of see behind the scenes of Notre Dame's recruiting. But real quick, Hottie Toddy, what do you think about this Kaz Cray hardcore game?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I was saying that I think Kaz Cray is the best opponent you played. No disrespect to Yofi or anybody else you've played. I still expect Hardcore to win this game comfortably. I think I personally would have a hard time picking against Hardcore any game this season. I don't think we've seen anything that's proven that you're going to be an easy opponent or a loss. I know a lot of people have been picking against you, and maybe that's what's fueling your fire. But I think Kaz Cray is going to give you a heck of a game, and I expect it to be a close one.
I agree with that. Let's just move on to the final game, which will be Thursday. Baker Vision taking on St. Breezes, the Buckeyes and the Cowboys. What are you thinking for that game?
I think this is going to be an interesting game. You have Baker coming off a loss last week that he really didn't expect to lose. He was expecting a win last week, so tough loss for him. Versus a brand new coach coming into the league. Wow, what a tough game to get Baker. I think Baker is a very talented player and just has probably, if not the most talented, but one of the most talented teams in the G12 this year in Ohio State. So I think Baker is probably going to pull out the win, but I think it'll probably be a good game too. But it'll be interesting to see how Baker responds after last week's loss.
All right, well, Hottie Toddy, I appreciate you being in the booth with me. You had a hell of a time tonight. Congratulations to Yofi on the win over Fantasy World League. He goes to 4-1, 1-0 now in conference play, and Texas in Fantasy World League dropping 0-2, 0-1 now in the conference as well. We're going to be rating Yofi here. I want to thank not just Bert for being in the truck, but also his daughter helping out with some of the production stuff and the replays. We really appreciate it. And all the work that Fantasy World League does to kind of keep the G12 going on. So much love to him. We're going to be rating Yofi now. Thank you, chat, as well, for all that you guys did and accompany us all along the way. And I think that's all we got. So anything last final thoughts, Hottie, before we let this one roll?
No final thoughts. Yes, props to Coach Burt producing and playing the game tonight. Massive undertaking. This league wouldn't be available without Coach Burt, so thank you to that. Thank you to the chat. Also, just want a quick shout out. Yes, go follow all 12 of these guys in the G12. Give them some love. And if you want to get involved like us here in the commentary booth or doing something else fun, let us know. Jump in the Discord, message us. We want to get as many people involved. And especially as they're continuing more and more games each week, we're going to need more help in the commentary booth. So come get involved. It's a blast to call the games. It was great calling a game with you, Hardcore, and we would definitely do this again sometime.
All right, appreciate it. For Hottie Toddy.